Welcome to Small Insight, Big Impact, the podcast where we explore ideas and strategies to improve our personal and professional lives to make an impact. I am your host, Dr. David Cheche. Today we'll be discussing a topic that may sound like a mouthful, but is fundamental to thriving businesses and organizations. It is, how do you promote equity, efficiency, effectiveness, and efficacy in the workplace? Many organizations and companies focus on efficiency, effectiveness to boost productivity and performance. But we will explore why these efforts can fall flat without a strong foundation of equity and efficacy. We will break down what each of these means, and most importantly, provide actionable steps so that you'll be able to implement them in your organization or company. Let me start by clarifying these terms as they often used interchangeably but have different meanings. Start with equity. Equity is about fairness. It means ensuring that everyone has what they need to succeed, recognizing that different people have different circumstances. It's not about treating everyone the same. It's about making sure everybody has a fair chance to reach an equal outcome. And then the second term, which is efficiency, which I guess most of you are already familiar with, it's the classic business goal or company goal, that is getting the most output with the least amount of wasted time, money, and effort. It's about working smarter, not working harder, and it includes streamlining processes using technology to automate tasks and minimize distraction. And then effectiveness is about doing the right thing rather than just doing things right. It's the measure of how well your actions achieve your intended goals. And then the last one, which is very important, is efficacy. And this is the most personal of all the four. It refers to an employee's belief in their own ability to perform a task successfully. When employees have high self-efficacy, they are more resilient, more motivated, and more likely to take on challenges. And when the entire workforce feels this way, it supercharges the first three E's. That is equity, effectiveness, and efficiency. Because without equity, it's always not easy to be able to achieve your outcome. So I'll start with equity because equity it's the bedrock for most actions in the workplace because it is one of the E's that helps to maximize the other ones. So what you need to do to be able to ensure you have equity in the workplace is to review, for example, your hiring processes or revise your hiring processes to make them more skill-based and not solely focusing on talent or degrees. And also try to use diverse interview strategies to reduce unconscious bias so that you'll be able to get the best. You focus on the task of the person, not what you've carried into the interview room, because that will influence the outcome of the interview results. It is also very important for companies to invest in equity or equitable employees development. It's very important where possible, and if it's part of the organization and company structure to offer tailor-made mentorship programs that will help the underrepresented groups uh, gain the necessary skills to be able to work and perform better, or have the opportunities to work and perform better in the workplace. But most importantly, it is you have to be sure that the trainings and development opportunities are accessible and fair across all levels of the company or the organization. The other point, which is very important, very controversial, is the transparency around payments. So that depends on the company and then the organization culture, but as much as possible, make sure that payments are fair and they are transparent, and whatever disparities that you have, they are well explained. This will build trust with the employees, and in most cases, they will tend to accept what they have than trying to not make the payments transparent. But again, this depends on the companies and then the organization's culture. So it's also important to foster an inclusive culture where you have a system where people are free to give feedback that will help improve the workplace environment. And also people feel safe to be able to voice their views, opinions, and speak up on issues that are very important to themselves, to their teams, and also to the company and then the community as a whole. And it's also very important to streamline other stacks, because if you have equity in place, the next foundation that you have to do is to build efficiency or boost efficiency and effectiveness. And with this one, you need to make sure you have processes that are streamlined, and where possible, if there is an option to automate certain processes, go for it, because that will help reduce that will help use the best resources to get the best outcome. Because if there are tasks that you can automate, repetitive tasks that are low value tasks, it makes sense to automate them. But again, this also depends on the company's culture, because there are other factors that goes into companies making decisions. So yeah, that's a way to improve efficiency. And with that, you free up employees' time to engage in innovative activities and also take on other creative work. The other thing that you need to do to improve efficiency and effectiveness is to minimize meetings and distractions, or organize productive meetings that have clear focus and clear outcomes with follow-ups. That's very, very important. You also have to develop the habit of setting clear goals, SMART goals in this case, that are achievable. SMART goals, mainly specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Because this will help you align individual tasks with the team effort and ultimately with the strategic objective of the organization. And that clarity will help employees to prioritize their activities and focus on what truly matters. The other thing that is important to do is to embrace a feedback system, a two-way feedback or a three-way feedback, depending upon how your company or your organization is organized. That creates a culture where everybody can offer input into processes, strategies, and challenges. It's also very important to be intentional about how you involve, I would say, staff that don't manage people, or staff who are at the lower level of the organization or the company's way of classifying, because they actually have the best insights to influence or to improve situations, because they see the inefficiencies and or experience the inefficiencies in processes and systems. So they will be in a better position to speak to those things and provide inputs that will help improve the efficiency and effectiveness of your operations. The final piece of the puzzle, which is efficacy, it's essentially how you make all of your other efforts sustainable and self-reinforcing, because that's very important. So this it's a very important aspect of it, and it's what you can do to improve your efficacy is to empower your employees with ownership, the sense of ownership. You should be able to create an environment for them so that they feel empowered and have a sense that they are in this together and they own the process. So instead of micromanaging, trust your people or your employees with their work and their results. Give them autonomy as appropriate and decision-making powers. That will boost their confidence and also their engagement. It is also important to create opportunities for success, because everybody seeks to grow or aspires to grow in one way or the other. So you need to create opportunities for them to be able to grow in the company or the organization. And this can start with small or manageable goals that will help them develop either personally or professionally. So with that, they'll be able to build the momentum for a bigger growth and also the confidence to continue doing what they're doing. One aspect that most organizations and companies tend to forget is celebrating wins. It's important to also make time to celebrate wins publicly to boost the morale of your team and create better environments to motivate them. Because when people feel celebrated or celebrate wins, whether small or big, they see there's a sense of purpose and also there's a sense of belonging, and also there is that edge for them to give more to what they do. Continuous learning is also another important action that you need to make sure you have as part of your organization and process and company. Provide ongoing training and development opportunities for employees in different forms and shapes, and make them accessible so that they'll be able to improve their skills, the gaps that they have, so that they'll be able to show employees, they'll be able to unleash their potential to do what is required of them. And with all this will boost their self-belief and also self-morale at the workplace. It's very also important to model positive behavior in the workplace. As leaders need to walk the talk by demonstrating resilience, optimism, and willingness to learn from mistakes. You can't ask your subordinates to change or do what is right while you are not doing so. We need to make sure that we walk the talk, because your team members and others in the organization, they see you each and every day, whether you like it or not. That will inspire your team to do the same. A healthy team culture starts from the top. So to wrap up, promoting equity, efficiency, effectiveness, and efficacy is not a one-time task or assignment or project. It's a journey. Matter of fact, a continuous journey. It starts with the foundation of fair and inclusive approach, which is equity, continues to use streamlined processes and smart tools to work smarter, which is more of the efficiency side of it, and also deals with the alignment of every action with the ultimate goal that you have for your company. And that's more or less the effectiveness. And finally, build your people up, giving them the skills and confidence they need to succeed. And guess what? That is efficacy. When you get these 4 E's working together, you won't just build a better workplace, you will build a more successful and resilient organization or company. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for being part of Small Inside Big Impact. Until then, stay strategic and keep building a better workplace for everyone.